We have before us a recommendation to adopt a resolution authorizing amendment of the personnel rules as presented in the handout that was given to us. I'll leave it up to council to make a decision.
I am a little wary with this being a decision that's going to carry over, even though there may be a chance of the hours changing and dropping without having any kind of projection of the cost that it could have in 9/10. I mean, we are raising rates here and talking about budget or whatnot for this, and I don't know if I feel comfortable voting on this without knowing what kind of impact it would have in 9/10. If this may fall within the budget now, but what happens if we do this and then it causes it not to fall within the budget of 9/10? Are we just going to raise rates again? I mean, I think that there's been some concern about that.
If I could just clarify this, this is a situation where we have employees that may be working 1 hour less than 40 hours right now. And so in the era of fairness, because of the lack of funding of the transit TDA money that we're receiving from the county, actually it's state to the county to us, we're trying to treat them fairly, even though we have to reduce the schedule because of the TDA funding. When it comes to July 1, and we're going to be talking about before July 1, if we lose more grants, like Jeff was saying, we lose more funding, we're going to reduce the hours even more so. These employees won't even be in the category of between 35 and 39. They'll be down to the 20s and the 25s, or we don't have as many employees. Those benefits would then be prorated. Okay, so this is a unique situation we're in right now, just kind of like the economy right now. This is one of those things that you had to make a change in what is fair to the employee. And and if someone at 40 hours a week is getting the full amount and yet someone at 39 is not, what do you do? That's the situation we're in. And this issue came up, Local 1 discussed it with me. I listened to him. I said, yeah, that doesn't seem fair. Plus, there's other practices in many other agencies that have benefits that actually start at 37 hours a week. No matter what hours you work between 37 and 40, you get the full-time benefits. That's very common. So, and because they're considered flexibly staffed positions, their schedules change. And truly, a driver is working odd hours. They're starting maybe at 7, maybe they're coming home at 6. I don't know. They could be working all kinds of hours because of our service demand. So that is why this is a unique situation, as well as we have to get council approval to make that change because of the personnel rules here at the city. It's very specific. That's why we have a resolution that addresses a specific case.
Okay.
But if it's prorated and they're only working 1 hour less than everyone else, I'm assuming it's not going to be this crazy difference where it's like, that's not fair. They're only working 1 hour more than me and they're making this much more. If it's prorated, I'm assuming it's based on the amount of hours they work.
We go down to 75.
Yeah, you're not.
If we go down to 75%.
To answer your question,
Yeah.
council member, the proration is based on hours worked, but it is, as the city manager said, it's an unusual industry because from week to week, those hours can change somewhat dramatically. 39 hours, they can change significantly from week to week. So 39 would be the ideal situation. It's not always possible that that's the case. So you have changes going on week to week, and basically what happens is you want to try to assure the drivers that because of things outside of their control, and I know tonight you had some important issues on the budget, for example, as much as possible you're going to try to allow them just to focus on driving the service that they provide, and this issue would get addressed separately. That was the intention.
Yeah, I think the issue is at what point or how many hours at what point in those hours where we reach that threshold, do we then begin reducing the benefits? And from what I'm being told, if it's 35 hours and below, then there would be some adjustment. These people are not in that category. They're, 39, 38, 37. So again, you're kind of in that no person zone, and so we need to make some, I think, reasonable adjustments and to grant that change in this particular personnel rule. If they go back below 35, or if we have to make further reductions and we reduce hours by, to nobody's working more than 25 hours, then of course, then those people will be, benefits are adjusted based upon that hours, on those hours.
I'd like to respond to Mrs. Copus's concerns. The fact of the matter is, we're talking about $1,160 for 4 months. At the end of that time, when the new budget comes in and we decide what we're going to need to do with this transit system, I think that's the appropriate time to consider this. As far as what you said, Mr. Mayor, about the 35 to 39 hours, yes, we could prorate them right now for this benefit. It's not mandated that we give them the 100%. Frankly, $1,160, I'm not worried about it. I think that it would benefit the employees' peace of mind to know that their benefits for this specific thing, the insurance benefits, is not something they need to worry about or supplement with their pay. They've already taken a loss in wages. Even if this were to continue for a full year at this rate, it's only $3,500.
Right.
It's not, we're not talking tens of thousands of dollars like street sweeping, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, I should say.
Right, and it's a fundamental fairness issue, I think, here.
I was just wanting the information. I wasn't saying,
No.
I don't think we should give it to him. I'm just saying.
I understand. Councilman Kaler?
And to me, and I agree, it's the fairness issue. These are people who are out there on the road every day, and they're working almost 40 hours, but not quite. And I think this is just, what we'll do. And if it changes for 9/10, well, we'll look at it then. But
Look at it then.
really, this goes through the end of this fiscal year.
Okay, well, it appears that the council is ready to move with this issue, so I'm not hearing any dissent. If I am, correct me, but not hearing that, I'll entertain a motion